What is up? This is your boy Mike Maverick, and welcome to Shrinetime Entertainment Podcast, where we always say the nerd is the word. Now here's your host, DJ Money Senpai and Company.
What's going on, everybody? It's Money Senpai. All day, every day, your money making, hard hitting, love lord, anime, gaming fan of Shrinetime Entertainment Podcast. The nerd is the word, and we are getting ready for our prologue anime anniversary show that's coming up in a couple of weeks. But first, first and foremost, I have to do this because we have to do this in advance. It's very time consuming, but we have to do it. It's amazing that we're getting this done by one of our favorite guys that are in the industry, who's basically a fellow podcaster, Richie.
Hi.
He's the founder of Fairy Tale Podcast. The guys that were there when we did the sweet anime debate. Which we've gotten so many on both sides. We've gotten so many positive reviews from fans about that debate. Hopefully, we can do one again soon because that was awesome.
Oh yay! I'm looking forward to it.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for that.
Bring the abridgers in next time.
Yeah, and
all the abridgers in. You can
hopefully, and hopefully Mike will join us again. Join us for that one. Kind of missed out on that one, but it's awesome nonetheless. And hopefully we'll have the full cruise from both sides debate on the greatest topics of anime. So, but anyway, he's here today to explain a few things what he's doing with his manga projects with OTP Manga, which is his manga company.
Well, I just wanted to clarify real quick. It's not just my thing. Like, this was put together by several different people, and we've had more and more people come in and get involved. But OTP Manga, I guess you could say, is kind of like the production company or the umbrella group, where we are basically gathering a lot of really talented writers, artists, voiceover talent, audio engineers, composers, all sorts of different things to basically bring original manga content to you in a way that hasn't really been done before, and it would all be released digitally. And we'll probably get more into explaining that further, but I wanted to introduce the people I brought with me because they're, like I said, this is a giant group endeavor, and unfortunately Skype could not handle the amount of people that are involved in this project, so we had to get a very small sampling of 3 other people to join me. So I'm going to
the whole thing we ever thought of bringing everybody together. It can't take over the overload.
I think at the point where we're at right now, I think we could fill up a small panel room on its own with just the people from OTP Manga. It wouldn't even be a panel; it'd just be a conference between us trying to figure out what all we're doing and stuff like that. But I'd like it if it got, if more people got involved in everything, and suddenly we could basically have our own convention with the amount of people that we already have. But but I know plenty of people that run conventions, and I've seen what it does to them. I know enough to know I don't want to do that. No. I feel like that's overworking our personnel way too much.
Right. but no, introduce everybody to us.
All right, I'll start off with there's a lot to go through. I'll start off with the Infinity's Light personnel, because that's the manga that we're doing right now, and that will go over to introducing Calvin Williams, who does all of our audio engineering and our composing, because even though we're making manga, we're also giving it the full audio treatment that an anime would have. So yeah, you can read the manga and listen to the voiceover and the music, and we've got effects, sound effects, and everything that'll go with it, which definitely kind of helps separate us from all the other manga out there.
Oh, cool. So, to explain to everybody the new projects that you guys are currently doing, and in the process of doing that right now with the stuff you guys got going now.
Mm-hmm. There's so much to cover. So Calvin, tell them a bit of who you are and what all you do, not just for OTP Manga, but for other projects that you do outside.
All right. Along with my work with OTP Manga, I'm also part of Full Coverage Writers, a website that whose main purpose is to inspire creativity for writers, authors, and all creative types. We have our own podcast that runs every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, called the Word Ninjas Live podcast. We also have online YouTube series called Game Break, where we take some time away from our creative endeavors and get into some video games and uh, get some enjoyment and extract plot points, explain different story arcs as part of those games. And we also um, record all of our different exploits from our various conventions that we go to. The website is fcwriters.com.
I just want to throw in a little plug for that show. And I'm not just saying this because I do the audio editing for the audio version of the podcast, but because I do that editing, one of the things that because I have to go through and listen to it a lot to kind of nitpick all the things that need to be cut or taken out or muted and all that stuff. But I sitting there listening to them, like, it's really, really helpful advice and insight for writers just in general. And especially for me, I'm listening to this at the same time that I'm trying to write a manga and start a production company. So it's been very, very helpful. So I recommend that anybody who wants to get into writing in any way, check out the Word Ninja podcast, because it's very, very insightful.
Cool.
That's right.
So let me explain. Let me ask you something.
Mm-hmm.
What made you guys want to do? What made you want? What made you want to get into this industry of making anime and manga and, you know, coming up with your own little projects with like that? What made you want to, like, say, hey,
I can tell you in one word: Bakuman. I watched that series, and I was like, and every time I watched that series, I've watched that series like probably more than 20 times, and it's an amazing series. For anybody who hasn't checked it out, go watch Bakuman. It's done by the same guys that did Death Note.
And I saw it, and I love it.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
It is about these two kids that decide that they want to make manga for Shonen Jump. One of them is a writer, one of them is an artist, and it's actually a behind-the-scenes look at how manga gets made in Japan. It's really, really cool.
And
basically, every time I watch it, I go, I want to do that. I want to do that. And so that just kind of became a thing. Where we were like,
can I say something real quick? I saw one person who reviewed that manga one time. I guess you're familiar with him. I think his name is Masako X, and I don't know if it's
Masako X. Yeah.
Masako X. Yes, I don't know if his opinions change or not, but I saw him review. He tried to compare that to Death Note. I was like, how does this any similar to Death Note? It's not really that Death Note. Oh,
well, no, it's because the two people that do Bakuman are a writer artist duo, and they're the same people that did Death Note. That's why he was comparing them.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, Bakuman is done by the same two people that did Death Note. And actually, the series that they do at the end of the series, Reversi, is kind of like a little homage to Death Note in a way.
I see.
But Bakuman is very much the reason why I got involved.
So the anime, not the anime, the manga, for the same people that made the most darkest psychological thriller series out there, also made a most lighthearted series that will inspire people to become.
It is super cute. It is super cute, lighthearted. It's so funny, the contrast. Yeah. Moving.
Go ahead.
I just kind of want to get everybody's introductions out of the way, though.
Yeah.
All right. So, working on title in progress at this point, but a vampire-esque shoujo series. Our writer for that is on, and Raven is her name. Tell them a little bit about what you're working on, because we can't go into too much detail, sadly. We have to keep some stuff hidden for later, you know.
Basically, it's heavily inspired by steampunk and cyberpunk. There's basically two different races. I'm not saying more than that. One is very far in their tech development, and another one is not so far. Kind of think of cyberpunk as digital and steampunk as analog. And they end up coming together, and they find out that something that one side needs from the other is part of that other race. And it kind of creates a big conflict where they're kind of like, what do we do? Because we don't want to do this. But then, of course, you got the people who are like, yeah, let's do this. So. And the joke is, well, where the vampires came from is we were writing down things that we would like to include in a manga. And I wrote the words vampire and space very close together. So then I took a screenshot and sent it to Richie and was like, hey, look, space vampires. But
Yeah.
that's not it at all. There's no space vampires. But it's a joke, and I thought it was funny, so.
And finally, Anthony, who is also working on Infinity's Light. He is the voiceover actor for one of our characters in that series, as well as being the co-writer for a very dark seinen series as well. Anthony, go ahead and tell them who you are, what you do outside of stuff as well.
Well, does that include like parodies and the stuff that I do?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can talk about it.
Oh,
you can
we
say
were
that you
supposed to
abridge
include
stuff.
that
It's okay.
stuff too?
As Richie mentioned, my name is Anthony. I am the one of the co-writers for a series called Check. But a little more on that in a moment. Outside of OTP Manga, I have been a bridger for onwards of 8 years now. Other than that, just work to live and an aspiring voice actor and writer. But on to Check. Check is, well, it's a post-apocalyptic science fiction, except we're taking a new spin to it. The world has instead improved as opposed to going downward, at least scientifically speaking, since the 21st century. However, as a side effect, the planet is now effectively ruled by one party, and the morally blind and uncaring are worse than ever. That's basically how it goes. It, starts from apocalyptic scenario, goes to basically the whole world is ruled by the world government now, and as you know, absolute power corrupts absolutely. Kind of the grounding basis for everything.
Kind of like being like Magneto on this hot summer day.
Yeah,
It's
and
back for anyone.
Going on record, just for anyone who shows interest, plot armor does not exist in this series. So,
Yay, we can finally kill off Sasuke.
Yes.
Because we haven't all wanted to do
Thank
that for, like,
you.
ever.
All right.
I can't believe you said that.
Also to note, as Charles said before, I am the lead host of the Fairy Tale podcast, but we also have two other podcast members as well. Anthony is our Gagiel, and Raven is our Carla from the Fairy Tale podcast. So they also do podcasty stuff in their spare time.
Sweet.
Okay.
And funny enough, we just picked up sponsors on there.
Oh my god.
That was really, really cool. We got sponsored by a website where you can order otaku merchandise straight from Japan.
Tokyo
and everything.
Otaku.
Tokyo Otaku Mode. And we were like, our mistress, I'm going to call her our Lady of Swag, because that's what basically Carla is. She finds all the fairy tale swag. So our Lady of Swag, she looks on their site to check out and see what all stuff they have. And a bunch of stuff that we thought was sold out, they have on their website. And we're like, what?
I'll be like,
well,
fairy tales.
it's sold out on their website as well, but
is it?
Most of the other websites took it down, like they were never going to have it again, or like it was just discontinued, kind of like they do those limited pre-orders, we made 100 of this Lucy figure, and that was it, but I found out that there's not exactly 100 of the Lucy figure. there's more. It's just, I guess they're waiting for the company to make more.
Yeah, a second
whatnot.
release. The Lucy figures in question are about 40 inches tall.
Oh, okay.
They're giant.
Yeah, they're a from X Plus, and they're part of a series that they have called Gigantic. And this figure, or no, you can actually call it a doll. It's a doll because it's like as big as a torso.
Yeah.
Like there's a female torso, so there's like this Japanese girl, and she's holding this doll, and it goes from hip to shoulder.
Oh, man.
That's a big doll.
It is.
It's even bigger than a body pillow.
No. It's about the size.
No. It's probably about not exactly half the size.
It's almost half a person.
Almost half a person, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess if you're like 4 feet, then yeah.
Alrighty.
Not trying to insult the midgets of the world. Not trying to do that. I want to get
Charles,
you
if you had any questions for us that you wanted to ask.
Well, let me ask you something real quick. Specifically, what came up with these ideas for these projects in the first place? That's what I want to know. Where does the magic happen with that?
Jeez. I don't know. Sometimes we just get ideas in our head and it just kind of works. I think for some of us, we just read manga for so long that we've kind of like, we started forming our own original stories. I jumped in as the lead writer on Infinity's Light, and it had already been worked on by two of my friends who sadly could not be on tonight. But they're the creative writers. They created the characters and created this world, but they couldn't, like, they had ideas, but they were like, how do we tie them together? And so I started writing up like the chapters based on like scenarios and stuff that they were trying to weave together. And I think that as far as what Anthony told me, you have been working on your series for over 2 years trying to get everything together.
Yep. Been working on it for 3 years now, and I'll tell you what, man, it's insane to finally see everything come together. It's like a sense of pride that I can't even imagine. Like it's what I imagine parents experience watching their children grow up into productive members of society. I'd imagine it's like that.
Yeah, like I said, absolutely. I mean, yeah, it's just, I can see that, you know what I'm saying? That's the best thing about a manga series or anime series is the staff and the crew that have that commodity and that chemistry together.
I think it definitely comes from a place of love of anime and manga, and like, I mean, eventually it gets to that point where initially, and this is going to be true for anybody that tries to do anything different or break the mold.
Right.
I've heard this argument several times, and don't let it get to you. Don't let it get you down. All right. I've had people, and Charles and I, again, have a mutual friend in common that has probably heard this a lot as well.
Right.
But I've heard lots of people tell me that because I'm from America and the western part of the world, or I'm white, or I'm this, or I'm that I can't make manga because I'm not Japanese. And I'm like, no, you can.
You don't have to.
You can do this. Don't let anybody. You know what? I look at it as a challenge. When people tell me I can't do something, it makes me want to do it more.
You gotta prove yourself.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you can't do this because you're not Japanese, and I just hear challenge accepted. Yeah, exactly. But oh my God, it's just it's one of those things where, you know, eventually when you have so much love for something, you want to make something of your own.
Make it your own. Make it see me something more.
That's kind of, and I mean, we've kind of been doing that. I mean, if you think about it, several people have been kind of doing the same things,
right?
But with fan fiction, and with this, we're not using somebody else's work to make something. We're making something completely new,
original.
Mm-hmm. And I gotta say, probably one of the toughest things has been trying to find other creative people to work with, because sometimes they're hard to get a hold of, or You know, they might not think that it's possible and walk away, or
Yeah,
like sometimes the schedule can be heavily demanding.
right.
Uh,
I mean,
we went through 4 artists on Infinity's Light before we found somebody that could actually not only do really good art but could keep
right.
up with a schedule. You know.
I mean, it's always hard to find somebody who shares the same thing you have or
Mhm.
shares the same issue there. When you do, it's hard to contact them.
Mhm.
But once you get that right certain amount of people in that right place at that right time, it's
Mhm.
all gonna fit in the right
Right.
place. I mean, all pieces gonna fit in the right place. You just have to find that certain amount of people that can have that same ambition as you.
Mm.
So, I'm glad that you actually have those people around you to have those.
And
Uh,
I
Telling
definitely want to
good stories.
clarify something. I definitely want to clarify something for people out there that are listening to this and thinking it's a really cool idea and everything, and that it'd be fun and they want to get involved. First and foremost, yes, it is a lot of fun, and we're looking for more people to get involved, but it's also a lot of work. I mean, a lot of work. So if it's something that you just kind of think, oh, that'd be a really cool, fun thing to do, but you don't have the time or energy or drive to do it, it's probably not for you. This is a commitment when you sit down and create something like this and you're determined to make it happen to the scope and the scale that we're trying to make this happen.
Right.
It is a lot of work that is going to be put into it. You're going to have to debates with people, and you're going to have arguments over something that you wrote or maybe drew that you want to keep the way that you want, but maybe you have to find a compromise. It's going to be that way with anything that you try to do creatively. You're going to put a lot of time and effort and hard work into it. So if you're not ready to do that, maybe sit back and try and write stuff on your own for a little bit until you get something that you're ready to like turn in or whatever. But
But
it definitely, this requires a lot of drive and patience.
you definitely have to have that patience, and you definitely have to have that ambition. But Mike had something he wanted to say because he wants a few questions of his own
Go
to
for it.
ask the crew.
Uh,
What do you think, Mike? You
yes, yes. Before I begin, Charles, you forgot to introduce me as well. So yeah.
did I just asked it in the beginning. Mike with cheese ball Maverick.
There. Never mind. Okay, I didn't pay attention. But
There you go.
anyways, okay. What I was about to ask you, do you plan on having sponsors once this comes out? Like for instance, any sponsors like to like take up the deal, like to help out or something?
Um, right now, no, we're not looking at sponsorships from anybody. That is actually something that I wanted to get into because one of the things that we're doing is because we own all of the content. It's 100% OTP manga, and we have soundtracks, and we'll have outtakes, and we'll have voiceover stuff. We can put all of that stuff up on like places like iTunes, or we can have our own store, our own website, our own YouTube channel, where all of this goes up onto, and it generates capital through that. I already know that we're going to put our outtakes on iTunes for sale. We're going to release the soundtrack for sale, and that's for each series. So all of that generates money back to OTP Manga so that it can be distributed to everybody that works on it. Website views. If we are going to grab up anybody for sponsorships, like to post ads and stuff like that, I kind of look at, and I know this is kind of hypocritical because we have put ads on the Fairy Tale podcast now, but I'm trying to be really, really careful with ads for whatever we get for the OTP Manga website, because if you sometimes when you bring in ads to a website, it feels like you're kind of ruining the party.
Oh, I see.
You make a party and then no, you brought the ads and then the party's over. So sometimes it can have that effect. I mean, I would like to have sponsors, but again, it all depends on how we approach things, and we're trying to be really careful with that. Like, as far as like if we want to have merchandise and such and stuff made for any of the series, like who do we want to partner up with to distribute that? There are specific dealers that we already know from just going through the convention world that we can contact and be like, hey, we've got swag for this stuff, and people online are buying it up. So here's the things that are selling. Take a look at this. Let us know if you want us to send this stuff to you. And here's the price that we're asking for. And you can sell it at your booths, and you have our official permission. Here is a form to sign that says, you have permission to distribute our stuff. Like, we want to go through all the legal means possible, but yeah, there's a lot. There's even more that we've discussed that I can't talk about on air, but basically how we are going to try and generate our own capital as opposed to trying to rely on other companies and businesses to sponsor and promote us.
Right. But I mean, promotion should be
we
that
can
bad to really get those sponsors out there. But like I said, I mean, all going back to everything put in the right place at the right time. Same thing with promotions. It shouldn't. I mean, there shouldn't be a problem either way with.
Well, promotion's going to be. I think promotion's going to be one of the easiest things for us.
Yeah,
because I think it's just going to be a lot of us on the Fairy Tale podcast and all our respective places, whether it's abridged, because Tony is not the only abridger that we have in OTP Manga. We've got, oh my God, what do we have, like 8 of them now? It's crazy. Wow. Yeah, and they're pretty well known. Everybody that is in OTP Manga that does
we grabbed that many.
Is pretty well. Oh, hang on.
I didn't know we had that many abridgers.
Oh yeah, we do. Yeah.
Yeah,
we've got 8. It's ridiculous, but yeah, we've got a lot that we've been working with, and some of our people in the industry that we've already sat down and talked with. We've talked with some other voice actors, and I can at least say this, okay? When the pilot episode for Chapter 1 of Infinity's Light comes out, the first person that you're gonna hear is somebody pretty well known on the internet. It is John Bailey, who is the guy that does all the voiceover for Honest Trailers.
Oh,
he's the Honest Trailers guy, and so he's gonna be the first voice that you hear. He's actually introducing you to the world and the story through his narration, and we picked him up. And that's going to be really cool. And we've had anime industry and gaming industry voiceover people that we've been talking with for a while, and we kind of shared this with them, and they're like, "Oh, that sounds really cool. I'd like to participate in that." I was like, "Well, we'd love for you to, but we had to generate money to do that." And so it's basically, I think that once we've gone live with our Indiegogo, I'm just going to be sending out like a mass text or Skype or Facebook message or wherever it is that I have them on there going, "Hey, we started our Indiegogo. Here's what it's about.
Okay,
help us out because all that promotion we gave you, you owe us." I think I'm just going to be sending out one big "you owe me."
Hey man,
however it has to be done.
Yeah,
do what you gotta do.
Yeah, I owe you. You owe me.
This is me begging and scraping and saying I'm not worthy. Now please promote this.
Oh man, that's a polite way of saying, we want you to come join us, please.
Yeah, well,
do make me beg.
I mean, what was really funny is with some of the voice actors that we've already talked to, that we've given them little kind of a description about what's going on, what we're trying to do with OTP Manga, and like when we're talking about like the voiceover aspect and things like that, it hasn't been a thing where we've had to twist anybody's arm. It's like, oh my God, it's something original that you guys are working on as fans, and you're trying to make something new. And I've had 3 people say, and these are professionals in the voiceover industry. I'm sorry I can't give you their names, but I've had 3 people say, and that not only would they happily be involved with the project, but they could do 1 episode for free. But contractually they couldn't, we'd have to pay them afterwards. And I was like, dude, we were planning to pay you from the start. What are you talking about? But like, that's how they were like, we'll give you the first one free. And I'm like, I wasn't expecting that, but yes, thank you. I just thought that was really, really cool. Like, cause there's so much enthusiasm, not just from, fans that we've been talking to, but also in the industry itself. It's just really, really cool. Plus, you know, there's so much hype at conventions for voiceover. Like, so many people want to get into voiceover, and so that's another aspect that people can explore. Like, maybe they don't have an agent, and you haven't got a lot of character work. Well, hey, you can do Walla, and you can do minor character work on some of these series, and who knows, if your audition's good enough, you could get cast as a lead, because there's several series that are in pre-production that they have to at least get to almost post-production before they can start auditioning, because that's
enough to get you into the door.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, at least get you a portfolio.
yeah, it's very good for a portfolio, for an online portfolio. So yeah, voiceover people out there, get your demos ready. You never know when they might come in handy.
And
Oh,
I
yeah.
got it already on behind the voice actors right now.
Yes.
Good thing.
All
Yeah.
right. I wanted to give everybody a little bit more of a chance to explain some of the stuff that they've learned through this process, because this is a process that is very new to us. It's not like we've done all of this before. Yeah,
I know
in
you
about
got
5
track
years,
experience.
maybe it'll be old hat, but for right now, it's like brand new to us, and we're like, we are learning so much because we knew nothing before.
Absolutely.
We don't know shit.
Exactly.
Not at all.
Exactly. So, again, I want to go to Calvin real quick. What things did you learn from the process of working on Infinity's Light that were very new to you, and what challenges did you overcome?
I think the biggest challenges for me, well, I've been doing like audio stuff for several years now. Like I've been writing music since I was 15. That was freaking 15 years ago. So like uh, being able to like drum up ideas and put songs together is pretty much old hat for me. But like trying to put together music specific for like specific scenes, specific moods, and things like that. That's been a big challenge for me because, like, before that, I would just write music just because I had an idea. But trying to keep emotions, um, even down to like dialogue and scenes in mind, and trying to put music together for that. That has really like caused me to really think outside the box and really push myself creatively, and that's been something I've really been enjoying about this whole process. um I've also like and also doing the engineering portion. Like I've been I've never really had the opportunity to like put tracks together, like put voice tracks together at this level. Like I have the skills and everything, but never really had a proving ground to really get a chance to uh, use those skills. So just basically having all these skills and just kind of lying dormant for all these years, and out of the clear blue sky on a December evening, I get an email from Richie saying, "Hey, I got uh, this project going, and we need somebody to write music. Would you be interested?" Like it took everything in my power to like not type in yes in all caps in like 200-point font in that email.
So it's like a huge opportunity for you.
Again, this all happened from me editing the podcast that he's on, because he did the intro and the outro for the Word Ninjas Live podcast. And I heard it and I was like, I think he could work as like our audio engineer and composer. And that's kind of how that came about. Also, if you guys would like to, um, you two in particular, of course, and your audience would like to check out a sample of what he's done, we've actually released one track from the soundtrack on SoundCloud, and you can go to our Facebook fan page, just look for Infinity's Light, and that's with a Y, not an I. Have to clarify that after an artist mistake the other day. But Infinity's Light, like infinity, like the
Like
actual
the
infinity,
symbol.
no apostrophe s,
and
just
beyond.
but I did send in the link, so maybe the link will be in the event when everything goes live. But yeah, that's the first thing we put up musically, and oh my god, it sounds so good. Sounds so
Oh, we gotta check it out then.
yeah.
That
Orgasm
particular
to your
track.
ears, bro.
There have been times where he's turned in stuff that I'm getting hints of like little different things. Like I heard one of his early tracks and I was like, oh my god, this sounds like it could fit in Kingdom Hearts. It's that good.
Wow.
And then
High
there's
praise
other
indeed.
things that evoke certain like anime with me. Like I heard one thing and I started picturing Fruits Basket, and I loved the soundtrack for Furuba. And it's just it's really, really good. And every time he turns something in, it just becomes more and more exciting.
Well, I mean, the way he talks about it, he can spit gold out of his records. God,
Like
maybe I might just check it out.
Like, I really don't want to brag, but I am incredibly confident with my songwriting skills. But I do have to say, like, some of my best work has come out of this project. Like
Oh,
the song we put out over the weekend, "Prepare for Anything." That one is my favorite so far because I never realized I could evoke such emotion using all the instruments that I used, and just like it blew me away.
Mm. And you'll actually, for anybody out there that is in the southeast area, you'll actually get to meet all of us. All four of us will actually be at a KaiCon in Nashville, Tennessee, the first weekend of August. So, and we're actually getting Calvin down there, which is crazy because he lives all the way in Brooklyn. So that's quite a traveling distance.
that's definitely a drive. Or
Yes.
a long flight.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No,
No, it's a drive.
It's going to be a
Oh.
drive.
Wow. Well, I do not envy the taxi.
I don't trust New York taxis.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with New York taxis. Well, most of them.
There's nothing wrong with the taxis. There's just something wrong with the drivers.
Yeah, they're a real bitch.
All right. Raven, you were the next person to kind of jump on board with your own series. So, what are some of the challenges that you've run across in trying to make an original series?
Part of it is trying to remember that this is a manga and it's not a 500-page novel that you're writing in one go. And I am incredibly descriptive with like everything that I write and that I do. And I did start a project on my own. I tried to write a book, and unfortunately I can't get it off of my terabyte hard drive now. It's stuck on there until I can repair it. So when I found out about the chance to write for OTP Manga or a series, I was like, I gotta do this. I like writing. But the thing that I'm having the most difficult time with is what to include, descriptions, because I am so detail oriented just because I'm like OCD about the weirdest things that I was writing a scene and I was worried about where I put a plant.
Let me ask you a question. If was it hard when you first wrote this manga? Was it hard to come up with the idea, or was it just simple second nature to you? Like you knew exactly what you wanted to write right then and there?
I would say it was, second nature, like, cause there was another shoujo that I was on, but I was the only one writing it, and when I brought on the second writer, we're like, maybe we should just start from scratch.
Right.
And so we sat down, and I got out this whiteboard, and I wrote down words, basically. And so it started out, what do you like, or what do we know? And we ended up with this small whiteboard with a bunch of words on it, and I'm like, every time I try to write something, it has vampires or people that are close to vampires that could be mistaken for vampires. So I'm like, we need to have vampires.
Yeah, we need to be more clarified on who's the fager here, who's got the fangs, who needs to be bit.
Well, see, there's no biting. There's no biting in this.
Oh.
That's why I'm like, it's not exactly vampires. But people could mistake them for vampires.
God. I'm a vampire connoisseur. I just love somebody getting bit.
I know.
I know, as long as they don't sparkle.
No,
Yeah.
oh God, no.
Yeah.
And
that's a good one. That was a good one. You got it.
And I know that Anthony has been working on his series for a lot longer than any of us, but like, what's the difference taking the story that you already had and trying to adapt it to fit a manga style? Because that's got to be a different challenge.
Honestly, we were intending it to be some sort of visual format from the get-go. And actually, it's kind of funny because I'm sorry about that.
Wait. What the hell? Why we got DSP in here? What the hell?
Actually, Mr. T.
Oh, for a minute there.
Right.
I thought we were in a segment of Ask the King. I was like, oh crap, DSP's in there.
Wow. I didn't do it. It wasn't me for once.
And it's actually kind of funny because it originally started with, I have very bad road rage.
Right.
And that's actually where this started, because I was in a call with my buddy Darkon. He's the other writer of this, and I was raging about stupid people on the road, and it basically led to the me complaining so much that Darkon's like, dude, that could be a manga.
Wait.
Just sort of went from there.
Hold on for a second. I'm just imagining the panel right now when you guys are like famous and popular and everything, and you two are sitting at a panel and somebody goes, "Where did this come from?" And we're like, and you're just
Road
like,
rage.
"Well,
Road rage.
it's a manga that started from road rage."
Yep.
Oh,
But we were always planning on having it be some sort of visual format, so it actually wasn't too big of a gap to jump. It was just more of an adjustment, because we were sort of leaning more towards a visual novel type deal, because, well, neither of us are artists and we can't draw to save our lives. So
was it hard for you to draw, or was it like, you can't draw stick figures or anything? Because I can't either.
If I were to try and draw a stick figure, I would have problems drawing the torso. Let's just leave it at that.
What he's saying is he can't draw a straight line, but he's amazing with snakes.
Without boobs.
Snakes. Wait, you're amazing.
So really good.
So he's amazing at hiding in boxes.
You caught me.
I see where you went.
Yeah, so it wasn't very hard to make the jump. It wasn't very hard to make the jump to manga. And on top of that, it's actually really funny because when we first created this, there was a certain character that we created, and we created her, and I go, Darkon, if this ever gets voice acted, I don't care what it takes. We are getting this particular person to voice this particular character. And fast forward 3 years, she's the very first person I contacted. Yeah, I'm like, hey, this is happening. We're going to get this shit made, and I want you to voice this character. Are you cool with this? She said, absolutely. I'm really glad you thought of me. And, she's a fantastic voice actress. But,
Awesome.
See, this is the first time even I'm hearing about this. Wait, what?
Yeah, and but the biggest
manga editor I am.
The biggest issue that I've had over the past 3 years has honestly been wrestling with my sanity while writing this. What I mean by that is I've honestly.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was gonna ask you: have you been wrestling with your ambition about this, or have you actually won that match? Because
no, it's ongoing.
Oh, man. It's really laying the smackdown.
There is no
that
winner.
bad.
There can only be losers.
What, are you on like round 500 or something?
I'd say around
Which brings up an
666,
interesting
honestly.
point. Which brings up an interesting point. Okay, Tony, how do you still have sanity? Because I lost mine like months ago trying
Well,
this stuff.
in
I
regards to it,
lost-
it's
You can't be sane and do this. Come on.
this was the very first serious thing I've ever tried writing, because I had been doing parodies for 5-6 years prior to that, and it's always comedy with parodies. But this was the first serious thing, and so all these characters that are created, all the things that I've had happen to them, that I'm having them do, the whole setting, and I have never had so many existential crises writing this in my entire life. For our main villain, whom is going to be kept a secret until it actually comes out. It made me wonder. This is one evil son of a bitch. But I created him, so does that, by extension, make me an evil son of a bitch? I'm also killing off this person. Why am I killing? And it makes me wonder: do other writers experience the same thing, or am I just out of my mind?
Be a good idea to ask. Because I thought it was my next,
Experience what?
like for real. And I'm just saying this because I think that when you wrestle with something like that, when you're making a protagonist or making a character, you wonder who he or she mentality is going to really be like. And when you start saying that your character is like an evil son of a bitch, like, I wasn't going to say yes for the hell of saying yes. I was thinking that, maybe you're like an evil genius, maybe Cobra Commander, maybe. I don't know. Like, follow my orders right now. Like, oh my god.
Well, and the way, and actually, Darkon, as well as my co-writer, also doubles as my psychiatrist. He put it he put it as, it's like, listen, you are a very angry person at times, and I've spoken with him on going on killing sprees several times. So he told me that I'm creating these characters to experience said killing sprees without actually having to go on the killing sprees. And it's sort of helped me level the playing field so much, a little bit. I think that's the best way to describe it.
Oh man.
Oh no, I'm so far gone.
I'm
Not gonna lie, that's kind of creepy.
You're not the only one. Believe me. It's hard to come up with that, and also with the mentality for the character. So just bear with me as I'm trying to Billy Vanilli these questions. At least ask him the right way. But Mike, do you have a question for one of these guys?
Well, I'm just wondering if your manga comes out, there's gonna be any chance to have an indie game based upon them yet, anytime soon in the near future.
You think
That's a good
so? All right. So the question is, is there going to be an indie game based off of it?
Yeah, if it comes out, it's like when it comes out and if it succeeds, yeah. Like
That's a tough one.
Like for instance,
You
I
guys are
guess-
really getting
Did you
ahead.
have
Like, you're already asking
considered
for
that?
video games.
That's
Never too.
that's
Never
a-
can. You
Just-
never can
'cause-
ask for the future.
Well, okay. Well, in that case, Money Senpai, go ahead and contact the people over at Bungie. And
I'm just looking at the characters. I'm just looking at the characters,
That's
and
the
it screams way forward.
That's the reference if you didn't know.
It's
You
a
know,
definite possibility.
Richie
Like,
and
it
I
would
have
depend
been
on the
like,
genre.
Okay, stupid question, my fault.
I'm
No,
I'm
it's-
still like, okay, if you saw the Facebook banner with all the characters in it on the Facebook banner for Infinity's Light, I just want to point out that there's a little joke going on between the artist and I right now over one of the characters having quote unquote He-Man style pants. And so I was like, because all the girls have been like, that package though, and I was like, but we're not trying to promote fan service, and I'm like, oh my god, it's going to happen. Like, I am seriously worried for when the actual readers get a hold of this, and I'm like, oh no, what's gonna happen? I I did want to clarify one thing really quickly
Right.
for people out there that are curious, and I know you asked this earlier. You asked what does OTP Manga stand for? What does the
Yeah.
OTP stand for in OTP Manga? All right, and we get asked this a lot when we say we're OTP Manga. The OTP does not stand for one true pairing. That's the only thing it does not stand for. It can stand for whatever you want it to stand for, but it will not stand for one true pairing because, and this is basically, I guess you could say this kind of developed from my rage regarding chapter 700 of Naruto,
Right.
and more or less just kind of like how he apparently felt the need to pair everyone up, and I'm like, you could have left it open ended, and let people kind of just have their ships. Oh, hang on.
Somebody's at the door. Somebody's rapping at my chamber door. Raven. Quote the Raven. Nevermore.
Oh, I think what? I know what OT.
Really?
But anyways, I think what OTP stands for, one truth prevails.
Sorry. I accidentally locked the back door and forgot my roommate was still outside.
Yeah.
Oh,
But anyways, I think I know what OTP stands for. One truth prevails.
I'm going through that same
No.
conclusion before we
No,
start.
it doesn't stand for one truth prevails. No, no. We just didn't want it to. We just didn't want it to be about one specific pairing. We wanted to let our fans ship whoever they want to ship. And trust me, we've come up with really, really, really horrible acronyms for what OTP could stand for. Like,
Enlighten us, real quick. Enlighten us real quick.
I know. I don't want to share all of it because it's
Just give us a few days that you can.
only tentacle porn. Oh God, I think was one of them.
Okay, that was kind of.
So this series gonna have plot. I knew it.
It's gonna have
Outrageously terrible people, because that's what we considered ourselves at one point. We were
I
like,
like that one. Can we keep that one?
outrageously
I agree.
terrible
Yes.
people. Yeah,
That
sure.
has my vote.
Wow.
Well, but in the case of Czech, that kind of works.
Right?
Me and Charles to thank. Credit us for it.
Another series, and I want to plug them real quick because they've been working pretty hard, and I couldn't bring them on for this. But the duo that created the very popular SWE Sword Art Abridged are also working on a series that is a parody of the Sentai genre, and it's so cool because it's like it focuses on like kind of some of the older stuff like Gatchaman, or I guess over here it was called G-Force, but basically it's kind of like the scientist creates these suits for the military, and the military is like, we want better marketing for this, so he's forced to give them to 5 teenagers, and just the mayhem that ensues. It's great. So it's basically kind of a light poking fun at the Sentai genre, and it brought up like it brings up another point of like the people that we bring on to do these projects. It really stems again from love for these series. Like we don't bring on people, especially from the bridging community. We don't bring on abridgers who are doing it just to get famous, because that's not what we're about. We're about the love of this thing, and not just trying to, hey, I want to get famous and known and be at a bunch of different cons and stuff. Like, it's like, look, I don't care. Like, I haven't been to a con this year because I've been so busy working on all this stuff. Like, a KaiCon will probably be one of only 2 conventions I go to this year, and then that's not even until August.
Wow.
You know,
Yeah.
because I'm so focused on working on this, and there's so much more still to go, and we've even got a video well, we've already got the art turned in and the voiceover recorded, and we're kind of putting that all together right now for a KaiCon itself. We made a promo video where basically our characters just decide to introduce what is going on, and we break the fourth wall several times in these.
There'll be a lot of break
Well,
before
in the
you know.
actual series, there's not going to be any breaking of the fourth wall. But like when we do, if we're going to do like a promo video for a convention, or if we've got like little shorts that we find that are funny, we're gonna, we'll break the fourth wall. One of our voice actors is also a guest doing a bunch of different panels, and we were like, you know what? I think it'd be funny. So we had his character actually plug his voice actor. So, so Jordan actually, Jordan in the in this little promo promotes Gavin, who's his voice actor, and we have that fourth wall break where he says, I hear that Gavin guy is pretty cool, and we get like a pause there, and then Alex just turns to him and goes, "Really?" And he goes, "What?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, yes, it's great because we're actually his character is promoting the him."
Right.
And we have that, and we've got fourth wall breaks about the con itself because we've been there since they started. This is their third year, and so some of the early jokes that occurred, like "Where's Devon Con?" we referenced that, and so these are people that we definitely know, and it's a con that we love, and they're cool with us kind of like poking at them and everything. I mean,
But real quick,
Mm.
because we're about to run out of time.
yeah, I'm sorry.
Just okay. But we're running out of time. But let me ask real quick, just for a plug, when can we expect that that Kickstarter to kickstart?
Well, it's going to be an Indiegogo, not a Kickstarter, because Indiegogo works a bit better as far as like you don't have like if you don't reach your goal on Kickstarter, you get no money.
Right.
With Indiegogo, if you don't reach your goal, but you can keep the money that you've raised, but Indiegogo takes out 9%.
But
If you reach your goal, they take out 4%.
but
And
can I give
Take
you
a little off to the top.
can I give you a good suggestion?
yes.
Have you tried Patreon?
Okay, I wasn't going to talk about it, but yes, we are going to do Patreons after the crowdsourcing stuff has been raised. That was another revenue source we are considering. And I was considering doing Patreons for each individual manga as opposed to just doing it for one giant group of us at OTP. That way, one can see who's pulling in what and what series are doing really well. Also, so that it makes it easier for us to distribute everything out to like this specific group of people that are working on it, as opposed to trying to have this giant amount and trying to find out where what goes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but no, we're absolutely considering Patreon. We're definitely involved in looking at that. But for some of those series, that's pretty far in the future, like maybe a next year thing for some series. It just depends on how quickly we're able to get everything out there. And also, the Indiegogo is more than just us trying to raise money. It's trying to get the word out to, and the same thing that this is. It's promotion for saying, hey, we're doing this cool thing. We hope you enjoy it. But it's also at the same time saying to everybody out there, hey, if you've been trying to get into voiceover, or you like writing and you've always wanted to try making a manga style story, or if you feel very confident in your art and you have been trying to make kind of manga, if you're one of those people that's always in the artist alley doing this stuff and you wanted a chance to create your own original characters and work with really talented writers and bring a new manga to life and breathe life into something and to create something that is absolutely yours, that you can be proud of and feel accomplished about. We want people like you. The first and foremost thing that we're doing with all of this promotion is we're shopping for more people. We're going people shopping. Let's hit the artist alley and drag these people into the shopping cart. Yeah. I mean, but yeah, we're definitely on the lookout for more and more people, because the more creative and talented people you can get together, I think the better it makes your final product. And especially if there's a lot of love behind it. And I feel like everybody that is involved in this project has a lot of love, not just for OTP in and of itself, but of course for their own series that they're working on. Eventually, yes, we are going to have a point where we get to a friendly rivalry where, yes, we're rivals, but we're also friends, and we will compete with each other to see who can make the better manga, and I'm all for that.
We're also on the lookout for more audio engineers because I don't want to make Calvin do everything. Like, he will get tired really, really quick. So if you have audio engineering skills and you've wanted to try out something like this because you've looked at that and you're like, but I don't live close to these animation studios where I could do that. Well, here's the cool thing. You can do all of this from home. We do all of this from home. And it is a labor of love and it is a lot of work. But every time something is advanced or created or new characters show up or we're working on something, like every time we get finished with another thing, we're just elated at not only how it turned out, but that we managed to do this regardless of the obstacles and challenges that presented themselves in our way. And I think that creates an even bigger love because if
We
it
get to
if
do
it
stuff that we're proud of, like that
yeah,
we're like
if it
truly
was
proud of, you know.
if it was easy to do, I don't think we'd be as proud of it as it was. But the
Right.
fact that it takes such a lot of hard work and time, because initially we started Infinity's Light over a year and a half ago, and it's now gotten to this point. And I was hoping that it would have gotten to this point sooner. But the fact that we took our time, I think, has improved it well more than where the initial concept for it was.
It would be better if it just,
Yeah, when
take your time and
when I wrote
focus
the
on
first chapter for Infinity's Light, it was very different than what it is right now.
Right.
It has been redrafted and reworked 7 times and put under great scrutiny. And yeah, so it's definitely a thing that, yes, we love what we do, but we're also the most critical of what we do as well. Like,
Right.
nobody
But
will
you-
be more critical
but
of
you
our
know,
work than our own.
But as much as you want to like criticize, at the same time though, you have to take it to the public and
Mhm.
see what they really feel about it. Because
Exactly.
your worst critic is you.
Right.
Mhm.
And that's the other thing that I like about what we're doing right now is, like, we're kind of doing things in a way where we release our first chapter as a one shot or a pilot,
Right.
and if it needs to be reworked in any way, we can go back and do that. Or if we didn't have this thing or that thing going on at that time, releasing that to the public and having people come in and like leave comments or say, hey, I can actually do this if you need somebody to do this, makes it where we can bring people on, so that when we release it as a full chapter for serialization as opposed to just a one shot, it will make it to where it will be even more improved than what it once was. And the big reason why we're doing the Indiegogo is so that, one, we can buy the programs that we need, because I don't know if you guys know about this, but there's a program that is used by several mangaka over in Japan called Manga Studio. And yes, Manga Studio, the regular version is about $60-70. But in order to do everything that we need to do, we need the extended version, and that's about $200.
Jeez.
Yeah. There's a very big price gap. And the thing is, not only do we need that for one person, we need that for multiple people. So that became expensive in and of itself. Getting all the equipment that we need in order to improve our sound quality or our art quality, or God, there may be more things down the road that we didn't
We
even
understand.
think about.
Trust me.
Yeah. Just and not
Fun
only
little
that,
tweaks that we want to do.
yeah, not only that, but also by just being able to pay people for the hard work that they've already been doing. Because for a year and a half now, everyone that's involved in this project has been working on it for free.
Wow.
They've been putting so much time and energy into this and not making a cent.
Wow.
Yeah. With the exception
That's
of one
love, though.
person. With
But
the
it's
exception
love.
of one person, we had to pay John for his work.
Oh man.
Yeah, but that came
had
out of my pocket, not anybody else's. So that was the thing there.
I mean,
And we still owe him money, so that's the other part of the Indiegogo. We still owe him some money. So please, let's
Yeah,
please
yeah.
promote it, and
Please
please support. please add yourself to the Indiegogo. But we've also got some like really, really cool perks that we're going to throw into the Indiegogo. Like if we surpass the amount that we're trying to raise, which initially was just going to be 15,000, but because we have 7 projects instead of like the 2 or 3 that we initially had when we conceived of this, we have 7 projects right now. And by the time that we launch the Indiegogo, there may be more. We don't know. So we're already growing. And don't think that it has to be one specific genre for that you need to write. Like if you have a different genre, we're all for it. We want to make as many different series with different genres. Hey, if you've got one that's kind of a similar genre, yeah, we're cool with that. We're fine with it so long as you've got an original story that we think people can enjoy.
So please understand.
Yeah, we're always on the lookout for talented writers and artists. Again, I've said it way too much. But yeah, like everybody's been working on this for absolutely free, and myself included. But like these people deserve to, especially because like they've been taking time out of work and stuff to work on this. These people really do deserve to be comped, and also the other important reason is so that we can hire on more people, because there's a lot of work to do just in one series alone that we need to bring more people in on. Like we don't have a video editor for any of this, so we're gonna be using programs that either are not going to be as effective as we'd like, or because I really don't want to do this. I know he can edit video, but I don't want to constantly be shoving everything on Calvin's shoulders, It'd be nice if we could have a video editor so that Calvin can focus on all the audio work, because that alone is going to be daunting. You don't want to throw the video stuff on top of him, considering the huge amount of audio work he'll have to do already.
You hear that, Charles?
But yeah, I don't try to shove too much on you, Mike. I know there's a lot you can only take.
But yeah, there's a very, very big reason, and it's believe me, it's not to line my pockets at all. But if we're able to surpass our goal, I think one of the things that we said we were going to do is once the Indiegogo campaign ended, we were going to put the full soundtrack that we've already put together for Infinity's Light, we were going to put it up on SoundCloud for 2 weeks for free to let people download. Yeah, so you get it for those 2 weeks, you could grab it for free, and then it goes off of SoundCloud and onto iTunes. Sweet. So you have a 2 week.
How do you think I feel?
Yeah, exactly.
This will be my first, like literally my first album that I put out.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've been writing music for eons, but this will be like my first body of work that I released to the public. Well, for money.
And throwing an awesome shout out to one of our creative writers, Caitlin. We if you check out our Facebook fan page, you will notice that our mascot character for Infinity's Light is actually the photo image, the little tiny image right over the banner. That is Zen. He is a Tomo, and he's kind of like a little cat hybrid, and he's got multiple tails, and those are kind of like our mascot characters for the show. And Caitlin, who crochets, is actually in the process of making a Kate and a Zen, the male and female Tomo that are kind of like our little cute cat couple. And she's actually making crocheted versions of that. She's going to make those for people who donate certain amounts, and there will be a limited number, of course, because she has to make all these by hand. And this is new territory for her, because usually when she crochets something, there's like an outline or a blueprint for it or something, and she's having to do this all on her own because there is nothing for it right now. Nothing else has been created, so she's doing this 100% on her own. And yeah, there's even more stuff that is going to be available. Like I think certain people that donate to the Indiegogo, we're going to bring them on for directing. Like if they want to learn voiceover. We could bring them in, and I can direct them through voiceover. They can sit in on a voiceover session. Certain donation tiers will actually be allowed to come in and voice certain minor characters for it. We may, I think one of the perks is we would name a character after our donator, and actually put them in the story as a background character, so you'd actually be a character in the manga. That was another thing we were planning on doing. And we wanted to bring, because we're always looking for more people to do walla, and that's a term that is used in voiceover for like background dialogue where a bunch of people are talking together, like if you've got a crowd or something like that. Those are walla recordings. And so if you'd like to get an experience, just a toe in the pond, as it were, in voiceover, we would be doing that as well. For certain donators, we just bring you all in on a walla session, put you on Skype, and just, all right, hit Audacity, hit record, and then send all that to us as a WAV file, and we put it all together, and that becomes your walla session. So it's really, really cool to do that, and all of this can be done from home, so it's not a difficult thing to do.
Awesome.
So yeah, I'm hoping in the next month or two, because the art is really starting to pour in for chapter 1. We've got I'd say we've got around 40% of chapter 1 already drawn, and we start as soon as we get the audio finished for all of the shorts that we're going to be putting out, which are kind of character intros, which hopefully we'll have some of those up by either this week or next week. No pressure on that, Calvin.
I'm working on it.
I know, and I'll probably that's what's gonna basically be our Thursday and our Friday, is working on all of that stuff and trying to get it ready.
Yeah.
That's basically our entire weekend right there.
Yeah.
And we got a lot done last weekend, man. We got so much done. But we've got that. We've got the AkaiCon promo, and then we start recording for episode 1 of Infinity's Light, like the full voiceover recording and everything. So that's gonna be fun and interesting. But yeah.
Man, I can't wait for any of this.
I know. Trust me, as excited as you are about it, like the people that have been working on this for months and everything, we're even more excited, because like we know what's gonna happen, and we know, like, I've written 9 chapters of the story already, so I know where it's going, and I can't wait for you guys to experience it.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I can't wait either.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun, and I hope you guys really enjoy it. And of course,
we are.
And of course, when the Indiegogo comes out, promote us. You owe me. No.
Yeah, I get. We were gonna do it. We're gonna do it. Trust me.
Yes, I appreciate it.
We're definitely gonna do it. But so as soon as you guys can give us the link and shout out what you're gonna do the first, and I'll say we'll be definitely on to it. So
well, I'm hoping that by the time we launch the Indiegogo, but if we've raised the money that we need to, hopefully within the next couple of months from there, we brought in enough people to where you start seeing more series getting announced from OTP Manga.
Right.
I know a lot of work's going into both of the series that we have on board right now. And yeah, and guys, we're another shout out to your listeners. We're looking for concept.
I'm working on this right now.
I know. Oh,
And also-
yay.
and also-
I was gonna say right now, we're looking for, all right, getting really close to the mic and sensual here. We're looking for concept artists. You had to ruin the mood by saying "ooh kiki." All right.
Sensual.
Anyways,
That's basically everything on the show.
okay. I got one question. I do have a microphone, which is a Samsung CO1U USB microphone, and also
Yes.
I was just wondering, is it good enough for me to do voiceover with it, or do I need something like a CO13 or CO3 or whatever?
Say your name again.
Calvin.
The name of your mic?
No,
The name of the mic.
it's Samsung CO1U USB condenser microphone.
Yeah, that's more than good enough.
Yeah.
Calvin, is that good enough?
Yep.
Yeah.
We can make it work.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Make
dude,
it work.
I'm working on a Yeti right now.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I
looking that up. That's a good
me,
one.
I went completely overkill. I have a recording box, and I'm using a Shure Super 55 right now.
and how much that costs? That way I can find one online. I mean,
Oh dear.
Well, well, the Super 55 normally runs for around $200. I got this on sale, a really good Fourth of July sale.
nice.
But the recording box was significantly more. But to be fair, I needed
Um,
that for guitar and everything um, music related that I do.
And again, just throwing
I
this out
just
there.
looked it
Oh.
up, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places, and they all sell it for $249.
Jesus.
And I think Charles dropped.
Yeah, I
Yeah, he did. All right.
Yeah.
So again, really quickly, for all your listeners out there, we are looking for at least 5 of our series right now are looking for um, some concept artists. So we're always on the lookout for concept artists, especially now that we're in early pre-production. And yeah, if you would like to do concept art for a manga, just make sure to email us at otpmanga@gmail.com.
All right. So I guess we have to end the show for a while. So also we're gonna plug y'all. What?
Our
Okay.
Twitter.
Yeah,
Our Twitter is
Twitter.
at OTP
Yeah.
Manga on Twitter. At OTP Manga. Yeah.
And okay, and Raven, where we gonna find you?
Oh.
Me personally?
Yeah, on either on Twitter or Facebook, whatever, any social media. Throw in some.
Are you talking about social media for the manga or me?
Yeah, we already got all right. Probably for you.
we got the manga stuff. I guess he's asking for you. Oh,
Yeah.
there's Charles.
Oh,
Yo, there's Charles. Hey
Okay.
Charles, we're about to end the show, and I'm suck at it.
well, I like to kind of keep my Facebook private, so
Oh, you can plug your cosplay page.
yeah, I do have a cosplay page. It's Hellwise Cosplay, HELLWISE. And then of course the word cosplay. I do have a Twitter. It's at Ravenstern, all lowercase, and then there's this Instagram that is my full name again, and Snapchat, which is also Hellwise88.
Oh, nice. Okay,
You
so
just covered everything. Look at that.
Alright.
Shot.
I do. I have a lot of social media, and like the thing is I hate social. Like I despise a lot of social media sites. That's why my Facebook is, kind of my Facebook. But like
Right.
Twitter and Instagram and Snapchat, I have this. I don't give a fuck.
yes.
I don't know why. I tweet the
Oh,
most
he died again.
We lost him again.
stupid stuff. So I think.
You said you don't give a fuck, and he left. Look what happened.
Okay. Oh man. Okay.
All right. I'm used to this kind of stuff. Calvin, do you have any do you have anything that you want to plug as far as like, do you have like your own kind of studio stuff, or is it all just you personally?
Let's see. I actually put "Prepare for Anything," the first cut off of the Infinity's Light OST, on my personal SoundCloud page, which is soundcloud.com/soundsbycalvin. So you can check out "Prepare for Anything," and you can check out all the whole bunch of other tracks, beats, and fun stuff that I've put together.
It's also linked on both our Facebook and our Twitter pages because we have those linked together. So if I post anything on Facebook, it immediately goes up on Twitter. So if I post anything for Infinity's Light or anything up on the Infinity's Light Facebook, it immediately goes on the OTP Manga Twitter.
And just for good measure, you can also find me and my crew of Ragtag Creatives at Full Coverage Writers. The website is fcwriters.com. Our YouTube page is youtube.com/Full Coverage Writers. Check out our Word Ninjas live podcast. our game break episodes, our convention shenanigans, and a whole bunch of other fun stuff that we get into.
Do
So
a lot
check
of
us out.
shenanigans.
Yeah, oh yeah.
All right, and Anthony, where can we find you?
Well, unfortunately, I don't have any real professional stuff set up outside of YouTube, but you can find me at Fat Dog Studios on YouTube. That's spelt with a PH, and the Das Tales. Those are the two main channels that I'm a part of, and good parody goodness. That's about it.
No, and
Look for it soon on OTP Manga, where there will be more professional stuff.
And of
Yep,
course, and of course, I'm going
that's everything for OTP Manga right there. You know, that's my professional stuff with them.
and of course, I'm going to plug Charles since he keeps dropping down. Okay, so you can find Charles at Money Senpai SCP. That's Money Senpai SCP, and of course, he has a Facebook called Money Senpai. I don't know. I think he kept his Facebook personal, but I don't know. But also, hey Charles,
He can plug himself.
Hey, I'm trying to plug in your shit now.
I was joking when I said I don't give a fuck. I do give a fuck. Come back.
But anyways, you can find Charles at Money Senpai SCP, and yeah, that's his Twitter, and also he that's his personal stuff is
Come back, Charles. He's giving away your personal info.
Wait. God damn it, not personal stuff. Business. God damn it. It's business.
Wow.
He left, so you can totally troll him now.
God damn it. Okay. And of course, the Shrinetime Entertainment podcast.
And he's back.
And he's back. Shrinetime Entertainment podcast on Facebook. Yeah, that's the fan page of it. And of course, now I'm trying to plug mine here. You can find me at YouTube at Turnabout ENT. That's Turnabout ENT, where I do my review show called the Ace Gamer Show, where I play it, I ace it. And also, you can find me on Twitter at Mike Maverick AG. And I have a Twitch known as D Mike Maverick. And my last stream, I could stream in 720p. So guess what? I could stream games such as Hyperdimension, Neptunia, and
It's just a series we're covering in 2 weeks.
yes,
Oh my god, I love Noir.
yes,
And
and
Blanc.
yes,
Blanc. Oh my god.
Blanc. Vert is my favorite because she's
So if you'd like to hear our review of it, make sure to check out the Fairy Tale podcast in 2 weeks.
yes, and of course, and once I finish the game, I will do my own review, the Ace Gamer Show review, because Vert is my favorite gamer girl.
I should probably plug Fairy Tale podcast. But,
You should. I think that's like the only thing that we haven't.
okay,
yeah.
if you want to check out Fairy Tale Podcast on Facebook, we are facebook.com/Fairy Tale Podcast at Fairy Tale Cast on Twitter. Our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Fairy Tale Podcast, or you can just type Fairy Tale Podcast in the YouTube search bar. It's easier that way. All of our shows take place live at 9 p.m. Central Time on Monday nights.
And of
Yeah.
course, I got one more thing to plug here.
Okay.
Yeah, there's this idiot known as DSP. He's a piece of shit, by the way. You can find him on YouTube. Sorry, I'm just quoting Mike Watson from that convention at 2005, that little panel.
Oh my goodness. And finally, we have a Twitch channel. You can look up Fairy Tale Podcast on Twitch, where we will be streaming games every weekend, if not more frequently, because I kind of gave everybody our info that is associated with the Fairy Tale Podcast. I was like, hey, you guys are all on, you guys are the crew, so here's how to play any games that you want to stream on Twitch. Here's all the info. Yay. So you never know. But
So-
mostly it's...
I wish you could stream on PS3 because I picked up GTA 5 again and I suck at it so bad, but I do like the most hilarious crap while.
And of course, we got to end this show right now because I think Charles's computer or internet is keep fucking up right now.
That's the end of that.
I'm right here.
Oh,
back.
thank you. Welcome back.
So you're just in time to say goodbye.
Oh yeah, I am back.
Yeah.
He did all your plugs and everything.
Yes,
so.
I was holding down the fort while you're having issues. So yes.
Well, he kind of did your plugs. You might want to edit some of that.
I'm gonna do some editing and all that shit and leave all the.
Trust me, I'm gonna hear it all when I hear the recording. Trust me. I'm just gonna hit that right out of the park. That's one of the things about my crew is they, when I'm gone, they head out of the park. They can handle things without me, which is a good thing because they would be lost without me.
I'm pretty sure my crew can too, but they just don't wanna. At least with the fairy tale crew.
We're just like derailed. Like we get hyper and excited about the most random things, like big sticks.
And on that note, we should probably end.
Yeah.
But for everybody here, I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. I know you guys are, super excited about, bringing in Infinite Light, as well as, other projects you guys have going on for OTP. So, I really do think that, be level with me here. That OTP does stand for Truth Portrayals. I'm
no.
For the hell of it.
No.
Outrageously terrible people.
Just no.
Outrageously terrible.
Yes, outrageously terrible people. I am game for that.
That is the official name.
The other ones, no.
Well, I mean, there's a the humor in this guy.
One truth prevails.
No.
Illuminati confirmed.
I'm just gonna go right there and go to the night. Like one troop of men.
Where's the goat scream when I need it?
But anyway, we do thank you for coming in, and I do invite you, fellow party goers, to go check them out on their Infinity Light page.
Yeah,
on Facebook.
Don't you worry, we'll be back again.
Oh yeah, they're definitely gonna be back. But definitely
and a promise.
Check them out. They're amazing at their work, and can't wait to see Calvin and his just beautiful soundtrack. Can't wait for that. But
yes, you're gonna love it.
Beautiful. You have no idea how beautiful, man.
If it's anything like Final Fantasy, I definitely want to check it out.
Uematsu has been one of my influences while putting this soundtrack together. So you're like some of the tracks, especially like some of the lighthearted tracks, you'll definitely hear Uematsu influence. So
I think I'm the only person in the world right now that has a Infinity's Light playlist on their iTunes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm like so happy.
So
I've got 20 now. Knowing that there's multiple drafts of the same song on here, I have 25 songs in my iTunes playlist for.
Wow,
it's like,
oh man, you already got one fan right now. That's
yes,
awesome.
But you might have more once this is done. So just imagine how this is all playing in your head right now. Like, yes, I'm gonna be. But anyway.
All right,
we're taking him out of here. For Mike Machismo Maverick, for Richie Roberts, aka Natsu.
Yep.
For Calvin and my boy Anthony, I'm Money Senpai. We're getting out of here.
Don't forget Raven.
Don't forget Raven.
And Raven.
Well,
that's
Raven.
Maybe if you hadn't mentioned the big stick.
Or maybe they shouldn't
I'm
give
gonna
a
say
fuck.
I'm gonna say it right now. Guys, before you end the show, I'm about to say that's so Raven.
Oh my god!
Oh, no.
Because she's never heard that before. No.
Well,
I actually
that's
had a That's So Raven moment not too long ago. I don't know why. No, like
In the show before this gets weird.
great. We out 5,000. Peace.
Later. You're listening to Shrinetime Entertainment Pop. What? The party's over? Well, let's clock out, guys. Come on, let's go. Move, let's go. Come on.